Hey everyone, this is Josh from before, and I'm here with my first McFarlane DC Multiverse review of 2022. I didn't expect it to be Gotham Knight's Nightwing, but here he is. I found this at my local Target. They had like 2 cases of him, just him, no sight of Red Hood, no sight of the remaining 3 Jokers wave, but I did find this guy, and he is looking pretty sharp, and this box looks pretty sharp as well. Good photo there on the back. Really solid photo, actually. We've seen some questionable promo photos from this line. We've kind of been seeing questionable promo photos from this line in general for a while, kind of since the beginning. I really don't want to beat anybody up too hard about it, because a lot of them do look very sharp. The fact of the matter is, the response to the photos is often extremely critical. And while I think part of that is to do with the generally uncharitable attitudes from some of the toy collectors that frequent toy groups and social circles and the like, but sometimes, I gotta call a spade. Sometimes they don't look good. They don't look flattering. And there's a lot of factors there. If you've ever taken toy photos, they're difficult subjects. They're very small. Camera lenses don't behave the same way on a subject this small as they do to a real human being. It can create some very unusual proportions, like promo photos of this Nightwing had a very large chest, torso, shoulder area, and we can already see that's not quite the case. Combine that with the fact that whoever's taking the photos is probably doing like 3 other jobs when they should just have a completely dedicated professional still photographer to be taking these photos. I don't know how it happens. I don't know what the process is or who's on staff or who's contracted to do that, but I have a feeling that whoever is taking these photos is doing like 3, 4, 5 other jobs, and they have to rush these through, and they do the best they can, I'm sure, with what is a very difficult and stressful job. But the issue remains that the promo photos are being very frequently met with derision and disappointment. And at a certain point, you got to kind of ask yourself, well, if they're not photographing well, if they've gone through several different photographers and are still having trouble with these photographing well, something's got to be done, because that's the first thing everyone sees. You know what I mean? So you guys gotta, a toy company that's been in the game this long, they shouldn't be having issues with that. They should have a pretty clear understanding that the promo photos are the first thing anybody sees of these most of the time. And if you can't put something out there that is going to entice people, something needs to be done. More attention needs to be paid. But enough rambling. Let's just get this guy out of here. All right, so like I said, this guy looks much less barrel-chested and slump-shouldered than we had seen in promo photos. I am liking that this guy does not seem to be over-designed in the trend of many other video game character designs. And I like that because now he's rendered in a style that's not too far from this first Nightwing or the Rebirth designs. So it's a video game source, but he's going to actually fit well with these other characters in the line. And if you, for some reason, you wanted to have this guy as your Nightwing over this one, he's going to fit in there pretty well with everyone else. That's nice. The face is really good. It might be maybe the strongest thing in this whole package. Good looking hair. His mask looks really good. I'm not sure if it's what I think of when I think of Dick Grayson. He's got something about him. I know he's got like a strong, jaw and everything, but he's got kind of he looks a little dweeby. I don't know how else to say it. Is anybody else picking up on that? Like, he's not giving me like sexy hunk, that the way that Nightwing kind of should be. This just kind of has older brother quality about it. I'm not sure how to really describe it. But whether or not it's what you've got in mind for Dick Grayson, it's a great looking head sculpt. Start moving him around. This shoulder is stiff. It feels like we've been getting some stiff joints lately here in the Multiverse line. And that for me has not really been the case until somewhat recently. So something to watch out for. Hopefully we don't start getting into more severe QC issues. Bicep cut there. A great double elbow. He can answer the phone, and it still looks okay from the side. Not terrible. Not terrible, but not the best I've ever seen. Interesting that they've put paint on half of the inside piece of this double elbow there, which gives a nice pop. I don't feel like I've ever seen them do that. Put a little bit of paint on just that middle part, just part of that middle elbow piece there. It looks pretty good. I think it kind of helps it blend a little bit. What do you guys think? And you know, sometimes the extremities, the arms and legs, end up being more overlooked with paint. So it's nice that there's a little bit there. Ball joints on the wrists are well tucked in, and of course, the obvious advantage of ball joints being that you can move on different axes. You know what I'm saying? So you rotate it around, spins like that. The ball joints, they don't look as good, but they function better, you know what I mean? So I'm okay with them being there, especially when they're well hidden like that. Now the real question is going to be, does he have any crunch? So the torso is constructed similarly to, say, the Green Lanterns that they've done, where it's this piece up here, this big breast piece, and then up underneath, coming down for the abs, is a second piece, and then a third piece, which is the pelvis area. And they all tuck up underneath each next piece. So he rotates from there. That's nice. He also rotates at the waist. Always be on the lookout for a kind of hidden waist if it doesn't seem obvious at first. These softer materials allow for a little bit of crunch, but it's not really as much as I would like to see from Nightwing, a trapeze artist, an acrobat. And it's too bad because, like, okay, so this is just completely solid underneath there. You see I'm pushing down on it. I just recently picked up this All for One from My Hero macadamia nut. He was on sale. I just got him as a custom like piece because it's just a plain suited body here for this part. There's nothing in there, so this guy actually does like full crunch. And I have not once seen them do something like this in this Multiverse line, and I can't figure out why. They just keep not giving us much here. I know people are giving them shit about it. Like, I know that of the list of things people have been asking for, that's at the very top. So why they can't deliver that, I'm just confused. But man, the hips work really nice. Like, you know, both those legs come straight out more or less, without flaring out to the side, so he could sit at a chair, you know, probably if you wanted him to. So that's nice that this gives enough for that to happen. Tons of great leg clearance, which you really need for Nightwing, so that's nice. And they rotate right there. You don't need a thigh cut. People keep asking for thigh cuts. You're out of your mind, guys. You're serious, like, seriously. Great double knee. Pretty nice. This guy's going to be able to get in some pretty cool poses. I'll put him to the test here in a minute. And then very nice movement at the ankles. With the ball joints, they're fairly well hidden. They're not extremely loud. A little bit more there on the side, but with the range, I mean, this guy could be a ballerina. Comes with two of his classic Eskrima sticks that have a little bit more paint than the old ones, have a little bit more detail, and still fit in his back here. look pretty good there. They look really good, actually, on his back like that. And fit in his hand like so. This guy's pretty cool. I really, that white bit of sole there on the shoe really pops. It's a nice little touch. You'd be missing it if it wasn't there. It also just gives him a little bit of kind of youthful energy, in my opinion. Taking a look at him here, it's a sharp looking figure. I think he exceeded my expectations. It's just going to come down to your personal preference, probably, if this guy does anything for you. Got me real curious to see the Gotham Knights game. I say of the two DC games coming out this year, I'm personally more looking forward to Suicide Squad, just because I'm more excited about what Rocksteady's next move is. But Gotham Knights has a lot of potential to be really rad. I spent some time playing that Avengers game, the Square Enix one, and if Gotham Knights is anything like that, I think it's going to be pretty cool. Like that Avengers game made every individual character really fun to play as, and they all felt very different. We'll see if that's the case for this. And really, I have no idea what to expect from that game. Are the stories going to be different at all, depending on who you play as? Will the Court of Owls storyline tie into Dick Grayson's past as a potential candidate for the Court of Owls? We'll have to see, but it's pretty promising. And I mean, the advantage that Gotham Knights has is that you get to bomb around Gotham, which as I'm sure Rocksteady will make Metropolis really fantastic and cool, but nothing beats Gotham City. Take a look at him here next to some other characters, and I think even despite the different source materials, this is starting to look like a pretty good Bat family. It fits in well together. I think that blue is a better blue than that one personally. Yeah, you could see these two spending some quality time together. You see these guys arguing over whatever. And then just to get some poses in, kind of maybe testing out the limits of his acrobatic abilities. Here's a kind of a Jean-Claude Van Damme kick, where you compare that to, say, like this first one could do that. He can't kick quite as wide out. This is impaired. And then the hack I would use on this guy is to spin his torso around like so to give him a little bit more forward crunch. So Gotham Knights has the advantage on the legs here, but OG one has a little bit of advantage on the crunch. But if you're messing with this guy, get creative. Look up photos of acrobats and stuff. Like just Google image search. It'll give you inspiration for some real cool poses that maybe you hadn't thought about. Don't be afraid to implement weird, if you get him on a flight stand and he's like upside down or doing something wild, that's what Nightwing's meant to be doing, something like this. So if you're going to have fun with him, go all the way. Even something where he's mid-jump, hanging in the air. I don't know, he would need some work, but I mean, he's really got some range, guys. So you got some options to play with here. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're looking forward to this guy, if you prefer him to this Wave 1, if he's going to become your new go-to Nightwing, if you're stoked about the game. Let's talk about it in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.